Welcome to Lovely Esteem. I'm Lovelie, the auntie you always wanted, the sister girlfriend you didn't know you needed, honey. You got to have self-love to have self-esteem. And here we know that God don't make no junk. So we're going to sit down, talk about it, and see how we can fix it, baby. Let's do it. So I wanted to talk about revenge and forgiveness. And the reason why I wanted to talk about that was because there are so many times when someone does something to us that we don't like, we have this like visceral reaction, like, I'm going to get you back, right? And we spend all these years plotting the best, like, banging comeback. Like, we're going to prove to this person that we're pretty. We're going to prove to this person that we're smart. We're going to prove that we're going to prove to this person that they needed us. Now, are you prepared for any of the results should it go your way? Do you really want to take that person back? Are you prepared to let that person back into your life? Are you prepared to make room for that person to come back in there? Do you want to do that so that you can become the bad guy in the story, even though you feel like now it is your flip? You know, I told you you were going to need me, because that's manipulation. And that's not something that you really want to have be a part of your life. I will tell you that revenge does not allow room for forgiveness. It just doesn't. I'm not saying it doesn't feel good as it's happening. You know, we do want to bust windows out of cars. We want to scratch paint. We want to Angela Bassett that mother flubber's wardrobe. But does it get you to a place where you now feel you can move on? Or will you replay what they've done to you, what you've done to them, and now you're living in two separate places? Now you're living in remorse, revenge, three, and you're trying to learn how to forgive yourself. I will tell you that none of that ever really makes a huge impact on whether the relationship will last or not. Even if that person comes back to you, you need to remember they're coming back to you because they want to make sure that they can get you back for what you did to them. It doesn't just end because you said you're coming back to me, period. We accept all of these false relationships in our life. We accept these people who are unkind to us or that we've been unkind to, because we always tell people that we were the hurt ones. We were the good ones. Without us, they would have nothing. And the truth is that sometimes we drag other people down. Whew, Lord, do we drag other people down with our baggage, our emotions, our trauma, our drama, you know, past relationships. We just bring all of that shit into a new relationship, and we want people to understand where we're coming from. But we have closed off our ears to hear where they're coming from because their needs aren't important to us, right? And I'm not saying that we can't rectify those things. I'm not saying that you can't grow to become a better person. I'm telling you that if you live in revenge, there's no room in your head for forgiveness, because you will be, it's like a person having an affair. They get married. Now that person who married them is constantly thinking, is this person having an affair on me? You can't run around chasing people hoping that they're going to continue to love you, even though y'all got together in such a unsensitive situation. So I'm just saying, we need to really look at how we want to live our lives. Again, I'm not saying forget what people do, because those things that you learn during that situation will help you better as you move forward. You need to forgive for yourself. You need to remember that you deserve as much forgiveness as possible. And if you're the person who is harming someone, if you're the person who is constantly the source of angst and drama, if you're the person who is always causing there to be static within the relationship, you need to pause for the cause and decide if you really want to be somewhere with someone and help them grow, or are you a person who just wants to keep revisiting the same trauma over and over with a different face? Because you can be in multiple relationships but still be in the same first trauma relationship. Listen, you can be in the same relationship with multiple faces and multiple bodies. You need to work on who you are, where you are, what you have to offer, the accountability you're prepared to take when things aren't right. Are you allowing yourself to accept apologies? Do you give apologies? Do you listen? Are you listening? There's so many things that we need to really factor in when we're going into relationships. You are not responsible for everything that somebody goes through. We are individuals. We're individual spirits having a human experience. And humans are fallible. We make mistakes. We're going to stumble and fall. It is who we are. We are not perfect. You are not perfect. I am damn sure not perfect. But I know that there are times in my life that I have tried to point the finger. And you know, they always tell you, look at your fingers. There's 3 pointing at you, 1 pointing up at your face. And the one that you're pointing at the other person is really just a gun to solidify that you're trying to kill a relationship. You cannot sit in a place of revenge and then want forgiveness also. That is just not where it is. You have to learn how to respect yourself enough to walk away when something isn't working well for you. You have to learn to respect that other person enough to know when it's time to walk away when it isn't working for them. And I'm not saying that when you leave a person that you leave and you're like, it was so nice meeting you and I appreciate all the lessons we've learned together, but I'm going to have to walk away from this one. That's not how it always happens. There are other circumstances that are unforeseeable. I mean, if you get into a relationship with a person who's already controlling and abusive and super needy, there are going to be things that you need to work out that's completely different than what I'm talking about. But so many times we get into these relationships with people knowing that we don't mean them any good, knowing that they aren't the end of where we want to be. You know, I'm not even talking about rebounds because that's a whole nother conversation, and rebounds can work out, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about walking into relationships with the hope that you can fix them or they can fix you. And when they can't do that, you deciding that now you need to turn on them and they become the enemy or you become the enemy within that relationship. So make sure that when you are looking at things, and what I will say is this. I am 44. I'm looking back at my life and I'm assessing where I am, where I stand within my friendships, the kind of friendships I've had. And I will say that I have had beautiful friendships with women who are amazing, with some men who are super amazing. I don't allow a lot of men in my life because I made room for my husband. And I like to keep it that way. But I have a few good male friends who are just beautiful people. And I so adore them. But I know that when I decided I wanted to create a circle of friends, people to be in my life, I wanted people who were not like-minded in the sense of we had to do like and see the same outcome of everything, but I wanted strong people who knew that if something was wrong and they saw it, they would talk to me about it. They would point it out. They would tell me, hey, you're in the wrong, or hey, you're doing good, or hey, I saw some shit and I don't think that's good. So your relationships have everything to do with the different men, women, partnerships that you have, that it can be moms, uncles. I always say everybody becomes a partner in your life. And you need to decide that when you let them into your life, if they ever leave out, if you let them back in, is it because you are forgiving them and yourself, or is it because of revenge? Revenge will always end in drama. It just will. And sometimes forgiveness will too. I've seen people try to forgive, and when the other person isn't prepared, or vice versa, honey, it's like watching little Kim dance. You don't know exactly what's going on, but you just waiting for the fall to happen. It ain't her fault. The girl be giving you all she got, but some of us just ain't got rhythm. I'm on the rhythmless bus right now. Think about it. Are you there for forgiveness? Are you there for revenge? And if you're there for revenge, I need you to really think about where you stand with the situation and how you can make it better as a whole with just backing out and walking away. It's the best for everybody. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you guys. Peace.